What's up, Lions fans? We had a pretty interesting day at practice today. We have a lot to talk about, but before we get into this video, I just want to take a moment and, give respects, pay respects to Malcolm Jamal Warner, who passed away at 54 due to drowning. If you don't know who that is, that's Theo from the Cosbys. If you come from my era, you watch shows like Malcolm and Eddie. It's just heartbreaking to hear news like that. So, with that said, let's have a moment of silence. Thank you. Let's dig in.
Hey, Kingpin for gas.
All right, Lions fans. So what's going on at practice? There is a lot, right? We can't really get there, obviously, because we're the public. We're not media. But I have multiple sources, right? Tim Twentyman to Dave Burkett to Corey Woods to, the Detroit Lions podcast, to all of these great personalities that are able to get in and get access there. They're just giving us the goodies, So where do we start? Today's practice, right? Let's start off with the quarterback position. Dan Campbell spoke on Hendon Hooker today, and there's been a lot of, people out there who thinks that Hendon Hooker was a wasted pick. And even after what I'm about to say, they probably still will. That's fine. You have your own opinion. I have mine. To me, Hendon Hooker was never going to be a quarterback to come in and replace Jared Goff, at least right away. He's someone that you draft that's coming off an injury that had Heisman potential, and you just hope he can rekindle that over some years of, sitting behind a quarterback like Jared Goff and learning, like the quarterbacks of old used to, the Aaron Rodgers of the world behind Brett Favre, and the Tom Brady had to sit before we discover who he was. And like I said, I'm not saying that he's going to turn to any of those guys, but I never expected him to right away wow everybody. It's a lot to learn in this NFL game. It's a very difficult game. It's not easy for these quarterbacks coming out of college, whether you were a Heisman candidate or not. But to hear Dan Campbell say that he was impressed with him in practice, because he doesn't really, speak on Hendon Hooker too often. To hear that he was impressed in practice, his footwork, the tasks and assignments that they gave him over, this off season. He looked calm and composed, and that's what we wanted to see, because if you noticed last year, he was kind of like overthrowing the ball a little bit, seemed a little bit jittery, footwork wasn't quite right, accuracy was a little off. Those are the things that you wanted to see him improve. So hopefully it's just not a one practice thing. Hopefully this thing gets better over camp. So that was great to hear this morning. But as far as the first team and the O-line in front of our quarterback, Graham Glascow said something very interesting today, which is I kind of figured. I'm not really surprised, to be honest, based on what's been coming out of practice. But Graham Glasgow said he is really, really comfortable and he enjoys being at right guard. And he said that he believes the center battle is already over with. Who could that be? I think Tate might have that down pat. I think that's where we're going, man. If you look at the razz between him and Ragnow, it's not too far off, right? Obviously, it's not the first time we've drafted someone and played him at a different position. Look at Panay Sewell, right? left tackle that we put at right tackle, and he's flourishing. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to step in and just be, a dog because of not only his skill set, but his attitude and, things like that, man. I really think he's going to be Pro Bowl center in this league. So we'll see. We'll continue to watch that situation. Also on the offensive side of the ball, a lot of eye-popping comments and a lot of mouth-dropping comments about the steps that Jameson Williams has taken. His route running is more crisp. His hands are on full display so far in these practices, and he is still my guy that I have to have the breakout season. Even though a lot of people believe Gibbs is, I do too. But J-Mo, I believe, is going to establish himself as one of the top receivers, if not the top receiver on this team eventually. That's how I feel. No disrespect to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown's a slot receiver. J-Mo becomes someone that just busts your team wide open, man. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't even blink an eye because that's exactly what I expect him to be. So to hear those reports early is great. His mom got behind him. You see her on Twitter tweeting and she rooting for her son. He's cleaned up some of the people that he's been around. He's not doing some of the things that he was doing as a young guy coming in this league. He's maturing. He is maturing. And his mom has been right behind him. So shout out to Moms Williams, man. She been supporting the heck out of him. So a lot of events and things I see on social media, I see her right there with him. So that's great news, man. Great news. Really good news. When you flip to the other side of the football, Davenport's been making noise. Here we go. Let's just get through this, right? When I say Davenport, everybody's going to roll their eyes, right? Yeah, Davenport, yeah, he's probably going to play about 4 games. Listen, I've said this the last time, but now these reports are even louder. If he can stay healthy, man, we got a jewel. You know what I'm saying? He's beasting in practice. He's beasting in practice, man. And he's just a beast, period. He's a beast. If you turn on the tape, man, he's a beast, period. It's just a matter of being on the field. So, I am really, really hoping that he can, play a significant amount of games and be available when we need him this season. Hutch needs it. Like I said, we just lost Onzarike. And like I said, we pretty much got a rookie right now in the middle with Reader. So on the edge, at least let's try to shore things up. I know a lot of people, we've been talking about Zadarius Smith a lot. And like I explained before, it's not like we're saying that he's, Lawrence Taylor or something, but we just need the compliment for Aiden Hutchinson, who's coming off that injury. So another interesting thing I heard today was Malcolm Rodriguez was running full speed sprints today, and he should be ready by November is what I'm hearing. So that's positive. Like I said, we need as many guys as we can, especially familiar faces. Sione Vaki went down with a leg injury today, man. Prayers up for him. I hope it's not nothing season ending, something that he can get back from. And of course, Ennis Rakestraw, his injury was updated to a contusion in the chest. So that's a positive, man, because last video I was starting to get a little antsy, man, because it's been issue after issue with him. So to hear it's just a contusion, I'm definitely on board with that, right? That's a gasp of fresh air. So, like I said, just looking at the defense in general, and then you see all these injury reports coming out, man, you automatically get antsy because of what happened last season. The amount of attrition that we suffered was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So to not be able to even get into the season and have guys healthy, that's not nothing that you want to deal with. Taylor Decker spoke today, not on himself, but he spoke on Manu Giovanni, man. And, he said that he had Manu at his gym over the summer, practicing with him and working with him. And he says that he looks like he's gaining more confidence, working on the footwork, the nuances of being offensive lineman. And that's the only thing that he needed. He came in, he was raw and powerful. We don't have to worry about the power. The size is there, everything is there. It's just the technique of the game and knowing what to expect when you're going up against elite defenders coming at you full speed, man. So the confidence is definitely something good to hear that, you know, he's building, and I'm happy about that, man, because like I said, he has all the potential in the world, and his size is crazy. His size and power and ratio are crazy. So, you know, to hear that is good news. I cannot wait to get to camp. And as far as camp goes, you know, like I said, getting the tickets sucked. It sucked. Like I told y'all before, I only got tickets for the first game. I mean, the first practice. You know, and then after that, the website started pretty much doing what it does, right? Even some of my counterparts did. So, you know, like I said, we'll be trying to find tickets to get to different practices like we do every single year. It's not going to stop us. And we'll keep you guys updated on what's going on as the days progress up until that July 28th, the date. Hall of Fame game is on my anniversary, my 15-year marriage anniversary. Thank you, Detroit Lions and NFL. But, you know, like I said, I cannot wait to just watch some football, to see some Lions football. I don't care if it's practice. I don't care anything. I don't care what it is. I just need to see something, man. I've been craving football. I can't wait for the Lions. I can't wait for even Michigan football to kick off and watch me some Bryce out there. So with that said, leave it in the comment section, man. What do you guys think about some of the things that I just reported to you? And if you appreciate this video, make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe. And I appreciate all the super thanks that I've been getting. It helps me get closer to quitting my job. With that said, I'll see y'all in the next one.